The Dome Hall of the International Conference Center in Enugu was filled to capacity as delegates from across the five Southeast states gathered for the first day of the Constitution Review public hearing. Five key issues were on the table, including state creation, decentralized policing, gender inclusion, local government reforms, recognition, and definition of rules for traditional rulers in the Constitution. Speaking through the secretary to Enugu State Government, Governor Peter Mbah called for more inclusive reforms, including rotation of leadership positions and prevention of arbitrary removal of elected governors through emergency rule.
There is no doubt that a constitutional amendment is required to define clear limits, ensure judicial oversight, protect fundamental rights during emergencies, and prevent its arbitrary use for political ends. We thus propose an amendment that prohibits the removal or suspension of democratically elected governors and members of the House of Assembly based on the exercise of emergency powers under Section 305.
There was general consensus on several of the issues, especially the push for state police and the demand that the Southeast no longer remain a geopolitical zone with the fewest states in the country. But while everyone supported the idea of a new state in the zone, different groups had their opinions on where it should come from.
Honestly, there is no single family in Igbo land that's not represented in Aba.
The potentials for Adada state are vast. We have already results. In fact, my in-laws in Anambra are horizontally drilling our oil in Uzuwa.
Most distinguished senators, can they let us join our brothers? We are not Hausa, we are not the Shakiri, we are not Urobos, we are Igbos.
Come to the Southeast, the state that is eminently qualified is the Anim state.
The proposal to reserve seats for women also received strong support, though some delegates raised concerns about how such a provision will be implemented in practical terms.
What we are asking for is that will the numbers increase? Yes. Will women only participate? Yes. Are we also going to see this as a temporary bill? Yes. It means that the bill will be for 16 years and 4 election cycles, and that is what is so significant about this bill.
Every Nigerian is a stakeholder in Nigeria's democracy. This public hearing is a testament to the Senate's unwavering belief that truth emerges not from silence, but from dialogue, not from monologue, but from the aggregation of honest opinions. That is why we are here, not as party men, but we are here as patriots, not as political actors, but as nation builders. The demand of this moment is that we speak freely and boldly. Therefore, the review of the Constitution is not a sign of weakness, but it is a sign of strength. It is not a complaint against the past, but it is rather a commitment to the future. We are meant not to abandon, but to realign, to adopt our national charter to the changing realities, to the dreams and demands of the good people of Nigeria, and particularly the demands of the times.
I've come to appeal to you that actually to thank you for being so gender friendly, so sensitive to prioritize this special seat bill. Because Nigeria has the lowest rate of women participation in governance in the whole world. Because Nigerian men like power. Even the billionaires are not satisfied until they win election to go to House of Rep or Senate. Everybody wants power to protect his kingdom. So nobody will give you power for free. But please, I'm appealing to you that if you pass this bill, work hard on it and make sure that this is actualized. It will help Nigeria. It will show Nigeria as a gender-sensitive country.
We have everything that any state will deserve to make it thrive. In terms of population, the economy, we have gas and oil, as you know. We are very, very upbeat about this. And I thank the media for all their support. And we have worked on this. And there is nothing that anybody can do to stop it in National Assembly. It will be passed by National Assembly, and it will go for a referendum, and it will go to the president, who will do the rest.
Gathered in this hall are civil society organizations, traditional rulers, members of the Senate Committee on the Review of 1999 Constitution, Southwest Region, political office holders, and others. Representing the governor was the deputy, Hamzat Obafemi, who urged that the process of the Constitution review should be guided by the principles of inclusiveness, equity, and justice, noting that the hopes, worries, and dreams of communities must shape the amendments that would come out of the process.
We are requesting unequivocally the listing of our 37 local development areas. They were created in 2003, about 22 years ago, with the intent of delivering the dividends of democracy to the grassroots. These are children that have been given birth to. They've been nurtured, and they have grown. It will be unfair for the nation to not give them a birth certificate. The issue of state police is not just a necessity. It has now become a must if we must protect our people left, right, and center.
For the very first time, you are including the traditional institute for us to continue to stay in the larger corporate Nigeria and also to speak on behalf of our people. And we can assure you that we will continue to do our best in terms of our contribution towards a better Nigeria.
The Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, who represented the Senate president, said the review of the Constitution has become necessary, noting that the amendments will tackle issues related to good governance, institution strengthening, and national aspirations. The senator representing Ogun East, Benga Daniel, who called for the creation of Ijebu State out of Ogun State, saying it is long overdue.
We have the request for the creation of Coastal State out of Ondo State. We have the request for the creation of Ibadan State out of Oyo State.
But we're not here to demand for a state, not just because we deserve it through history. We are here to present our case in relation to the requirements of the law. Our proposed state out of the old Ijebu province will be a child born with a silver spoon.
Since 1999, women represent 50% of the population, and we have been coming with a request for affirmative action.
By 10 a.m., various interest groups and individuals had gathered in anticipation of the hearing, only to be informed that proceedings would commence by 2 p.m. Despite the delay, attendees waited patiently, driven by the belief that their voices must count in shaping the nation's future. The hearing eventually kicked off at about 3 p.m. with passionate presentations made by different stakeholders. Key issues raised include the creation of new states, establishment of state police, and widespread support for greater inclusion of women in political leadership.
Coming from a state that is troubled, I know the value of men protecting women and also protecting children. I believe also that the voices of women will be stronger if the men speak for them, not when they speak for themselves.
Reserved seats that are just for women, both at the National Assembly and the State House of Assemblies.
There should be a reservation for women and girls with disabilities in politics.
We are here for the purpose of the presentation of a memo for the creation of Okura State out of the present Kogi State.
Well, I am here to support a group that is pursuing the idea of having another state in Plateau State.
My greatest takeaway would be that women have been heard, properly heard, not just in Abuja, but decentralized in spaces where they dwell.
And we believe strongly that Benue South Senatorial District deserves another state to be created out of the existing 9 local government areas that we have.
The chairman of the North Central Zonal Public Hearing, Senator Ashiru Lola, said the National Assembly is committed to ensuring the participation of all Nigerians in the constitutional amendment process, hence the need for such public engagements.
As legislative body representing the people's interests, the National Assembly has vital duty to address the people's call for renewal with proactive measures.
Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang emphasized the need for Nigerians to unite and contribute meaningfully to the review process, noting that the outcome must reflect the present realities of the country.
For me, I have been a consistent advocate of state police. I believe that the time has come and the time is now.
Senators from the 6 states of the North Central Zone, civil society organizations and various interest groups were all in attendance. Their collective hope is that the submissions made will be given due consideration as the process has the potential to resolve long-standing issues threatening national unity.
On day one, and at the time of this report, 5 new states were being clamored for from the Northeast Zone. They include Katagum State out of Bauchi, Tangale Waja out of Gombe, Amana State from Adamawa, Kwararafa and Muri states out of Taraba. There were also agitations for the creation of some local governments out of the present ones.
Bama is one of the largest local government areas in Borno State, and Bama town also is second to the city of Maiduguri. It has an area of about 4,887 square kilometers, and within the same local government you can travel as much as 300 kilometers from one end to the other, but yet it has not been touched. And since an opportunity has propped itself on, so we need to ask for creation of additional local government out of Bama.
The women were not left behind as they voiced increased participation, especially in legislative and electoral bodies.
We need to have reforms in the INEC leadership. We need to have balance in governance, balance in area of gender, balance in the area of social inclusion, also balance in the area of addressing all issues that have imbalances. So that is the outcome that we are looking for.
The representative of the chairman of the Northeast Zonal Public Hearing, who is also the Senate Chief Whip, Senator Mohammed Tahir Mongono, assured on the outcome of the hearings.
The committee is committed to considering all viewpoints and perspectives, particularly those of individuals who may be unable to travel to Abuja to express their opinion. We invite you to articulate your thoughts and engage in the crucial reform process aimed at strengthening our democratic structures, institutions, and fostering unity as well as improving good governance.
The Senate public hearing continues on Saturday, July 5th, here at University of Maiduguri.